What is up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another trading recap. Today was absolutely bonkers. We actually ended up finishing up the morning in like 45 minutes. It was a nice little one and done, and we're going to be going over exactly how I found this trade and exactly why it is so simple. I literally only used a couple zones and some simple price action to identify this move that was going to happen. So without any further ado, the first thing I did pre-market was marking out my levels and zones. This is going to be pretty quick, but as always, I mark out my previous day low and my previous day high. These are the two most important zones for me in my trading system. Today they actually didn't really come much in handy since we sold off so much. What it did tell us is that anytime we're below or above a previous day high or low, in this case we were below, my bias is generally leaning on the more bearish side. So what we did next is I go on the hourly and I pretty much marked out this area of confluence, kind of connected with that, and then this area of confluence right here. Anytime I see like two kind of big wicks kind of connecting or like an area of consolidation, it's hard to like exactly explain what makes a good zone. But my hair is so fucking gay today. But anyway, going into the morning, we start to sell off pretty much immediately. And then we come down to our first zone and we sort of bounce it a little bit. If we go to a lower time frame, we can see that we do get a little bit of a bounce off of this zone, showing that it was drawn really well. But what actually ends up happening here is we reject the 13 and 9 EMA like 5 times, like once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. We reject this VWAP, and we're below the 9 and the 13 EMA, VWAP, and the 200 EMA. So when we're below all 4 of those, and we sold off pre-market, I'm getting bearish. We're not holding this zone. We've tried to bounce it like 3 times, but it's looking like we're not going to be able to just because we keep rejecting. I enter right at the start of this candle after we get this few nice rejects, and I set my stop above this main rejection of the VWAP right there, and then I set my target for down next to my bottom of the next zone. Typically I don't hold my trades until the final price target. I usually like to trim because I have pretty big RR trades most of the time. But yeah, so today we pretty much get that immediate sell-off, kind of a little bit of a retest on this 2-minute candle here, and then right when we get about halfway to my price target, I start scaling out about half my position right here. And then the reason why I exited my entire position over here instead of holding for the way down is because I used the 9 and the 13 EMA as a trailing stop loss. So we end up breaking that right here, which causes me to get out. We did actually have a really, really clean retest of the zone right here, which would have been a great trade for me to catch. But since it was a pretty decent day for me already, this retest, it's pretty much the same exact play. We come up to this zone pretty much right when we get into it, we snap down with a strong candle, and we get below the 9 and the 13 EMA. So if you would have like entered right here, you could have, set your stop a little above highs, targeted the low, and then pretty much hit that nice clean trade as well. Here's it on the 5-minute. But yeah, and then later in the day, you can see just how well we're holding this bottom zone, guys. So if you guys are still like thinking that you can't trade zones and you have to be trading ICT, you have to be trading liquidity sweeps, like use this video as an example of like, just watch how price reacts to these levels. Like we come down, touch it, bounce up perfectly, break it, retest it perfectly, and then come down to this zone perfectly. So if you're just marking out good solid zones and sticking to fundamental price action and being disciplined with your system, like that's the key to making money, guys. So I hope that was a decent video for you guys, and yeah, have a good one, boys.